Do you have a question so far?
No, not so far.
Do you consent to participate in the study?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So the first question is about you. So I'm interested to learn about you and about your career. How did you come into your current role?
So I was a business consultant with Team about 5 years ago when it was actually Atomic 20. So I was kind of a freelancer myself. I had been a consultant for 13 years, growing companies. And my partners, Jeff and Toby, brought me in to help kind of solidify the team model and streamline operations and just get the company on a track to profitability. So I consulted with them for over a year, and then they made me an offer to come in as a partner and to take over. So I became CEO of Team in January of 2015. So it's been a little over 3 years that I've been in charge. And now I own a majority of the agency and run everything day to day.
So you mentioned that you used to work as a freelancer. So what benefits do you see in working as a freelancer?
Well, I know the things that I loved were just the flexibility of my schedule. It wasn't that I didn't work hard, but I was able to choose the projects I wanted to work on, the clients I wanted to work with. I just had a lot of discretion over how and when I worked. That was one of my favorite things. I think the ability to charge my own rates and, kind of manage what I wanted my income to be within the bounds of reason, of course. I liked being able to say no to things, which when you're in a job, you get to do whatever's in front of you on your job description. And it was nice to be able to say no to things.
Have you ever had to say no to clients or projects?
And I still do at Team. We pass on a lot of things. I've really found that it's super important, and I think one of the best benefits of the contract workforce for both sides, for both the freelancer and the company that's engaging them, is that ability to find the perfect fit. And so I think it's healthy to be able to say no to things that you feel like either you're not going to be good at, or that it's not going to be a good relationship, or you can't meet the timeline or budget and do good work. So all of that's really important for me.
So what would be the main reasons when you say no to a client?
Some is just that I get that immediate sense that somebody's going to have unrealistic expectations, or they're going to be incredibly difficult to work with, that we just don't have similar work styles and kind of value systems. That's one of the biggest ones. I think life's too short to have people in your life that stress you out. And I think the other is really feeling like we can deliver exceptional work. If I feel like something's pushing the boundaries too much of our capabilities, or if I feel like we're already swamped with other things and some of our A-list players are booked up, then sometimes I'll pass on work. Yeah. So a lot of it's around personality and quality, I guess.
Okay. Do you see any disadvantages for working as a freelancer?
Yeah, well, I think the obvious one is that, there's no guaranteed paycheck or anything like that. There's nobody to take care of all of the business must-haves for you, whether it's insurance or, somebody to handle your finances or paperwork or all of those things that have to go along with running a business, even a small one. But honestly, I have to say that even, a lot of my friends that are in corporate or I guess are in, W-2 jobs, instead of being 1099s, they can lose jobs all the time too. So I kind of feel like we're all to some extent project people now. So I don't know if that's the negative. It used to be for freelance that you didn't have stability. I don't know that a lot of people have stability in their work anymore.
In the corporate world.
Yeah. People's average job tenure now is below 3 years. So, I don't know. That's not really a very long career track or a lot of security.
Can you define the term gig economy for me?
Gig economy? In my mind, gig economy, and one reason we use that term instead of just freelancing, is people who are project or initiative focused. So they're not there to sit behind a desk to do the same rote job every day, but they're deployed on a specific initiative for a shorter term period of time, and they're there to accomplish a very clear goal. And I think contract labor is a huge piece of that. I mean, it's one reason that there's so many people are contractors now. People have an initiative or a project or a task they need done. It's not going to go on and on forever, and they need to mobilize exactly the right people against that initiative. And in my mind, that's what's driving the gig economy. It's this shift from people doing the same thing day to day at a steady rate to companies having ups and downs of initiatives that they're working on and needing different people for different types of engagements and lengths of time. And of course, that's then driving the freelance workforce as well.
In general, what type of person is ideal for working in the gig economy?
Well, I have to say, one of the attributes we really look for, I mean, I guess I would call it hustle, but is that ability to be self-motivated, to just work with the realities of a situation instead of being very rigid, in how your workflow needs to be. So I think that that's one of the primary ones. There's nobody to make you work. There's nobody to hold you accountable for standards. There's nobody to help you prioritize your time or to make you punch a time clock. So it really becomes on you to motivate yourself to do things that are difficult sometimes, to work late if you need to take the job you don't want to take because you need the money that month, whatever, and then of course to do good work, to kind of hold yourself accountable for the quality of work you're doing without somebody hanging over your head. Yeah.
How would you define success as a professional?
Well, I mean, I think definitely accomplishing your financial goals and living a comfortable life. But I don't think that that's necessarily the only measure of success. It's certainly an important one. I mean, I think the reason all of us work at the end of the day is to, facilitate other things we want to do in our lives. But I think another one is just work satisfaction. Do you feel purpose in your work? Do you get up every day and, 80% of the time look forward to what you're going to be doing? I think that that's really important. And then feeling like, you're contributing, that you're making people's lives better, that you're, the work that you're doing is having a positive impact on society, your clients, the world. I guess those are the things that are really important for me.
That's great. What do you see as the key drivers of your own success in the gig economy?
I think one has definitely been my versatility. I just have, even years ago in my corporate career, I did a lot of different things. And so I think that versatility and kind of having a broad base of capabilities that I can tap into is really helpful. I'm a very right brain, left brain person, so I can be very creative when I need to, and I can work on a spreadsheet for 3 hours if I need to. I can run the business. I can be out and engage in sales activities with people. And I think that for a lot of people, especially even if they're solopreneurs and they're just running their own business, not completely being focused on just one skill set is really helpful, because you have to be able to successfully do a lot of different things, even if you're not perfectly trained in all of them. You have to be able to do a little bit of everything. And I think another is that I've just always been really driven. I've never needed anybody to make me get up in the morning and get to work and do sometimes the hard things that are on my plate. And I think it would be really hard to be kind of an independent worker if you weren't able to do that. If it was easy for you to just lay in bed or say no to everything or miss a meeting, turn things in late. I don't know. I think those are some of the things that have been most important to me. And I have to say that I think the whole gig economy, where people are bouncing from one thing to another, whether it is a job or a contract or a project or whatever, relationships are so important. And I've always been a good people person. And even today, most of Team's business comes in not from advertising, but it's word of mouth. It's my network. I think that's true for a lot of freelancers, that it's who they know, that's how they get a lot of their work. It's how they build a reputation. And so I think that those are probably some of the skills that have come in the most handy.